Hello, we'll start reading a book called The Outsiders. It focuses on gangs, fire, and characters with weird names. Those pictures there, that's the cast from the movie. When we're finished reading the book, we'll try to watch the movie. If I can figure out how to share my screen and we can watch it at the same time, we'll see. I'm not sure if it's going to work out or not, but that's the plan right now. We'll try to watch it all at the same time. Some background information. The book was set in the 1960s, which is quite a long time ago. In one of the slides, there's a Prezi that you can click on. Please watch that. It shows all the different societal things that are happening in the 1960s. The main character, Ponyboy, that's actually his name, warning you at the beginning that this is a weird book with many weird character names. Anyway, it talks about family. It says with his brother, Derry, so their brother, Soda Pop, who goes by Soda, and Ponyboy. It also focuses on the separation of social classes. You have the poor and the rich, and how they are divided. So the richer group of people are called the Socs, which is short for society. The lower class is called the Greasers. The Greasers, they're the poorer group. They kind of have a bad community there. There's lots of alcoholism and abuse and rough families and not very good houses. But they are not the lowest group in society. The lowest group are the Hoods. So the Greasers are kind of in the middle. The story also focuses on gangs and drugs and popularity and girls and life and death and love and hate and fun stuff like that. This story takes place in a big city, which is Tulsa, Oklahoma, and in the countryside. This book became a movie in 1983. And I just showed you the picture of the cast. That's from that movie. This book really changed society. It changed how young adult books were written. Because before, it was very chill, told stories, they made stuff up. But this book focused on real events and realistic fiction. It talked about drugs and alcohol and sex and abuse. And now, because of this book, we can read about that. It also talks about realistic fiction. So this story is not real, but it's based on historic happenings that actually did happen. These characters are not real, but it could have happened. Happened to other people. The author is named Susan Eloise Hinton, but she goes by S.E. Hinton because at the time, women did not earn a lot of money as authors. That's why she italicized her name as S.E. Hinton, so you didn't know if the author was a man or a woman. America at that time was pretty far behind. Recently, we have caught up and had men and women more equal. Really, that's a new concept. She wrote the book when she was 16 years old. Funny story with that. Her teacher in creative writing gave her a D. She barely passed that class. The teacher had no idea how skilled of a writer she was. When she was younger, girls did not have a lot of opportunities to join in activities, so she spent a lot of her time reading and writing. The setting of the book in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is where she's from. This book talks about coming of age. So that means that as the character goes through the book, they become more mature. Starts out as a teenager and kind of immature, and then it goes into him becoming more mature and being an adult. It also talks about how gangs are there and how different social classes fit into society and the importance of gangs in bringing people together. It also discusses family dynamics. There's 3 brothers living together without parents and how that impacted their life. Of course, there's romance, and death does also happen in this book. So the link that says this, please click on it and go through that Prezi to learn more about what happened at that time in the 1960s. They were drive-in movie theaters, they had fancy cars, really cool things like that. It also talks about the music and their clothes and all these other different pop culture things that related with the 1960s. Lastly, there are 2 helpful links if you want more information and background. The first one is a library that has an introduction to the book, and again, there's many different videos on there that talk about the 1960s. The second one is Shmoop, which is an online learning website that helps expand on topics. Darlene made a signed video of this book for you. So, if you're not understanding the PDF, you can go ahead and watch her video to help you understand. And that's the introduction for the book. And we'll start reading it this week. I'm looking forward to talking about it with you next.